bless you all. I'm actually taking a moment to bring out this quick broadcast. If you don't know me, my name is Evangelist Anita Rivera, and I run a church ministry called EMOF Church, and I get to do these broadcasts pertaining to biblical prophecy, bringing about headlines and prophetic time events that are happening in real time. I invite you actually to visit my website at www.emof.org or www.openyoureyespeople.com. Both web addresses go to the same website. Again, we are a church ministry, and so I was prompted by the Holy Spirit to bring to you all this quick broadcast because there are probably some of you that did not know and need to know that our ministry is actually offering religious exemption letters by request. And so we're offering this. I placed the post on our Facebook page yesterday, and I was prompted to do a quick broadcast to let others know today because you are probably in need of one. And so what I was originally asking is that if you're a follower or a member or even a viewer of our church ministry and you require a letter of religious exemption for your employer or for your school, feel free to email me at anita@emof.org. I'll be sure to post my email address to this video. And just with that though, please include your name, your state, and your association and fellowship with this ministry. I did also add that I will be humbly asking for a donation on behalf of the work of the ministry. It's no different because it is an actual letter of, it is an actual official letter of exemption from an official ministry, an official church ministry. It would be no different than doing a baptismal or a funeral or sacraments or even marriage vows as what a minister or a priest would do. So anyway, this is something we've been doing for well over 11 years. We're probably going into 12 years now of actively working and helping many people from all around the globe with credentials for ministry, ordination, teachings, and now in this case, we get to now help with, exemption letters. We've been doing this. We've actually been getting quite a bit of requests. And what we're running to is the following. I just want to share this with you all very quickly. There are people who tune into our ministry broadcast, for instance, and they already have like a church, like a local church that they go to, a local congregation, which is great. But what they're running into and what they're emailing me on is that their pastor or their local lead, parishioner is not giving away letters of exemption, even based on religious grounds, in part because a lot of them are in favor of the vaccine, of the vaccines. Now, if you're running into that, again, if you're a viewer or a follower of our ministry, we are a church, so feel free to take advantage of that. We're willing to help. So don't be, I don't want you feeling like, I'm not, I'm not an official member. I mean, you could be, but you don't need to be in this case, especially in this emergency. What I'm realizing is that we have run into an all-out national, and I think it's become international emergency when it comes to employers and employees. I want to also put this out there because I know that there are a number of people who tune into our ministry from different facets of careers and different fields. I have, doctors and lawyers and even judges, people who work for the government, small businesses to large businesses that tune into our ministry and have been faithful viewers and followers of our ministry for a number of years. And you are kind of in a pickle. You're saying, I don't want to let go of the employees, but I am now being mandated to, bring forth this mandate concerning the vaccine. So please, I just want to, say this on behalf of the employers, if you will, that they're not trying to lose good employees. So if you're simply asked by your employer that it is mandatory, they have to use the wording, they have to use a verbiage, that you have to get a vaccine, just know that you are exempt on religious grounds if you claim religious grounds. If you know that you cannot, it's more than just choosing not to, because if you go to your employer or to your human resources and say, well, I choose not to have the vaccine, it is your choice. But in the times that we're living in, It has to be something within your, that is your conviction. When something is part of your conviction, it's beyond a choice now. It's like you can't. It's like a do or die situation. You're not trying to lose your job. You love your job, but if it meant taking the vaccine or not, and you know that you cannot take the vaccine because of your tenets of faith. This is regardless of what the Catholic Church is saying, because apparently there are a lot of Catholic churches claiming that the Pope, says that this does not go against the faith, and you have every right to take it. As a matter of fact, they're pushing for people to take it and not to claim religious exemption. That's their prerogative, and that's almost a strong man move. I don't like strong man moves because that borders bullying and intimidation, and even borders manipulative tactics against one who simply wants to work, who's willing to work and be an asset to the company. So, again, if your employer is asking and they need, let's say, a religious exemption letter from a church, from a ministry, we can help on that. So feel free to email me, anita@emoaf.org. We have helped already a number of people. I'm very excited. And as people from all sorts of different backgrounds and career fields. So don't hesitate. I also want to add this as well. Let's say if you're not a follower, and let's say that you are very religious in nature and you still need a religious exemption, and maybe you don't adhere to the tenets of the scripture. My prayer is that you eventually one day will, right? And my prayer is that you do get to know Jesus Christ as Lord. In light, however, of all that's happening, I am a firm and a stagnant believer of our constitutional rights here in the United States of America. So if you happen to be a United States citizen and you hold dear to you your First Amendment constitutional rights, which is freedom of religion, and you know that you're kind of, you're in a position in your workplace that, you have to do, you have to take the vaccine or have a religious exemption letter request. I must say this, that if you have your belief system and your religious faith goes against you taking this vaccine, regardless of what your synagogue says or your church says or whatever other religion you may have, don't hesitate that on behalf of us being a Christian ministry, we're loving our neighbor as ourselves. I'm not in, we're not going to agree, obviously, but I'm not here for that in this case. In this case, it's very serious. People's livelihoods are at stake, and it's very concerning. And so I've kind of been, dawdling on this throughout the day today. And so I said, okay, well, by faith, I'm going to go ahead and put out the report here and submit this all to you all. So if you know that you need one, and if we can help, feel free to contact us. Now, if you have a local church that you do go to and that you tithe to, that you donate to, I hate to even bring all that up because that is to be a very holy thing when you give, financially to any church or ministry organization. Go to them first. But again, what I'm running into so far, I've gotten a number of emails. There are a lot of you saying my pastor refuses. My pastor, my bishop is saying no. Some of the churches are going to eventually be hot centers to encourage and take the vaccine, and eventually mandated that you won't even be allowed to go and congregate or worship in the house of God unless you have your vaccine card. So listen, folks, we're coming down to the wire. We're living in the last days, but don't be discouraged. I'm actually encouraged. I'm grateful. In the times that we're living in, Jesus said that in the world you're going to have tribulation, but be of good cheer because I have overcome the world. So again, feel free to email me, anita@emoaf.org. Understand that our ministry does adhere to the tenets of the faith according to the Bible, the Holy Scriptures. We are a Christian, full-fledged evangelistic ministry. We preach about the coming of the day of God, of the coming of the second return of Jesus Christ. We preach on all 66 books of the Bible. We bring to you the whole counsel of God. So if I'm privileged to give someone or several people a religious exemption letter request, and again, you may not adhere to the tenets of the specific faith, I'm not going to ask questions. It's not for me to ask questions. I'm not gonna, there's not gonna be any bombarding you. This is a one-time thing. This is, again, to me, an emergency situation. So I just want to offer our services and our ministry in this time of need, okay? So may you be blessed. May God give you rest from these days of adversity, and know that He is near, truly at the door. God richly bless you. Again, I'll be sure to put my link at the bottom of this video, and my website is www.openyoureyespeople.com. Until the next report, stay safe. Bye-bye.